Good morning. I am Mrs. P.KAVITHA, Assistant Professor of Economics, A.D.M.COLLEGE for Women, Autonomous, Nagapattinam. Today my topic, industrial dispute. What is meant by industrial disputes? Industrial dispute means any dispute of difference between employees and employer, or between employers and workmen, or between workman and workman, which is connected with the employment or non-employment of the terms of employment or the conditions of work of any person. Every human being has certain requirements, needs. For example, economic needs, social needs, security requirements. When these requirements do not get satisfied, there arises a conflict between the worker and the capitalist, that is employer. The industrial disputes are of two types, that is industrial disputes and collective disputes. The industrial dispute means disputes such as res instantment, compensation for wrong, terminations, etc. Disputes relating to wages, bonus, profit sharing, hours of works, etc. or collective disputes. Define industrial disputes. Any disputes or differences between employers and employers, or between employers and workmen, or between workman and workman, which is connected with the employment or non-employment of the terms of employment or with the conditions of labor of any person. Concepts of industrial disputes. In narrow sense, the industrial dispute means conflict between parties in industrial establishment. The means of dispute is disagreement, mutual ideas, interest, etc. So, industrial dispute is disagreement, that is mutual antagonism of ideas, interest, etc. The industrial setting parties are invariably workers and management. And second one is the process of working. Workers express their need, expectations, desire for fulfillment and satisfactions. They want more money, that is attractive of wages, allowances, monetary incentive, which is management may not be agreeable to pay. Workers demand of better fringe benefits, health benefits, but management may provide less than that of their requirements. They want recognition, status, power, advancement, and higher quality of work, but management may be reluctant to give. Under such situations, a state of disagreement of the workers and management to develop, which gives birth to industrial conflict. So, the industrial dispute is a general concept, and this conflict gets the shape of industrial dispute in a specific dimensional situation. Basically, there is no difference between industrial conflict and industrial dispute. Variations lies only in scope and coverages. The causes of industrial disputes can be divided into four major parts. That is economic causes, managerial causes, and political causes, other causes. The causes of same detail of economic causes. Most of the industrial disputes are due to economic causes. Directly or indirectly, economic causes are at the back of industrial disputes. The main causes of industrial disputes, number one, low wages. The industrial wages are low. As a result, it becomes difficult for the laborers to meet their minimum necessaries. Laborers demand that wage should compensate with the amount of work. Such a demand leads to industrial disputes. Demand for higher wages, wage rate is the most dominant cause leading to industrial disputes. Then dearness allowances. Increasing cost of living is another factor responsible for industrial disputes. In order to the workers demand additional remunerations in the form of dearness allowances. Rising prices at the root of demand for dearness allowances and non-acceptance of this demand to leads to the industrial disputes. A third one is industrial profit. A worker on important part of production. Profit of the employers multiply because of the untiring labor of the workers. That they should not be treated as a part of machine, as the persistent demand of the workers, rather than be considered as partner in the production. The demand share out of their increasing profit. When this profit sharing demand is rejected by the employers, there is the industrial dispute crops up. Next one is bonus. Demand for bonus is also a cause of industrial disputes. Workers considered bonus as deferred wages. Demand for payment of bonus constitutes a cause of industrial disputes. Next one is working conditions. In India, working conditions of the workers are not satisfactory, and the inadequate lack of safety provisions, light arrangement, less moving space, lack of other necessary facilities are the normal features of industrial units. And demand for better working conditions on the part of the workers also contribute to industrial disputes. Then working hours. Hours of work is another matter of controversy between the employers and workers. Despite legislation to this effect, it is always the intention of the employers to keep the workers engaged for long hours at low wages. It is opposed tooth and nail by the workers, resulters industrial disputes. Then other causes. Number one, safety of work. Second one is modernization of machines. Third one, pension, gratuity, provident fund and other beneficiary schemes. And fourth one is medical and accommodation facilities. Fifth one is leaves and leaves with pay. Sixth one is share in profits. Next one, managerial causes. Success of an organization depends largely on its managerial capacity. Growth of organization is based on the policies of the management. If the management pursues appropriate policies, development of the industrial unit will be automatic. But many a time, due to wrong policies of the management, managerial causes of industrial disputes are under this. Number one, non-recognition of unions. Employers' attitude towards trade union has been the very being. They do not want the laborers should organize themselves, and to prevent the workers from unity, they refuse to recognize their union, and it leads to conflict between the employers and workers. In order to create a rift among the workers, they deliberately recognize the rival union. And second one is violation of agreement. Employers and workers do enter into the agreements on various issues. On many occasions, the employers do not enforce these agreements, nor do they strictly adhere them. It also accounts for disputes between the two parties. Ill treatment by managers and supervisors. Manager and supervisors considered themselves to be superior. It is under the influence of the superiority complex that they ill treat the workers. The same is vehemently opposed by the trade union. Third one, wrongful retrenchment, demotion and terminations. Sometimes on account of fall in production, laborers are re-entrenched. Those workers who take active part in trade union activities are promoted. Sometimes employers terminate the services of the workers without assigning any reason. All these provocative acts of the employers are not only strongly opposed by the trade unions but also serve as good cause for industrial disputes. Then, defective recruitment procedure and employers development policies. Uh, Defective recruitment system also gives rise to the industrial disputes. Many a time workers are recruited by the middlemen who get bribe from them. They take undue advantages of helplessness of the workers. Defective development policies like favoritism in promotion, unnecessary and biased transfer, casual approach towards training facilities on the part of the employers also contribute to industrial disputes. Then, selfish leadership. Lack of right and effective leadership weakens the trade unions and the employer class take the advantages of it. Then, in order to serve their selfish ends, these leaders enter into the unholy alliance with the employers against the interest of the workers. Often, this also becomes cause of dispute. Then, violation of accepted code of conduct. The code of conduct refers to in terms of accepted by both the parties, and both parties are required to abide by it. Employers agreed to all codes on paper but failed to carry them out in practice. As a result, workers oppose it. Then, collective bargaining and workers' participation in management. In modern industrial world, labor classes is seized with a new awakening and its influences by the new concept of management. Trade union that therefore insist on the workers' participation in management by collective management in try to protect their interest to the maximum. The employers opposite, the inevitable result in is industrial disputes. Then political causes. Political causes are no less significant than economic and managerial causes in accounting for industrial disputes. Then influence of politics. In a country like India, influence of politics of trade union is clearly visible. Political parties have been using their influence on trade unions for their selfish gains. Parties mislead the unions and instigate industrial unrest. Next one is the trade union movement. Ever since trade union movement got recognition, industrial disputes have multiplied. Many a time of trade unions take undue advantage of their position and their result into the industrial disputes. Next one is strikes against the government. During the struggle for independent labor, class had taken leading part in it. Now, this class directs struggle against the government, thereby adding fuel to industrial dispute. Other causes. Number one, government's inclination to support management, and second one is internal conflict in trade union. Third one, assistance to automations. Fourth one, influence of communist thinking on laborers. Fifth one is effect of on non-acceptance of human relations. Some of the impact of industrial disputes. First one is disruptions in productions and services. The industrial disputes result in huge wastage of many days and dislocations of productions of work. A strike in public utility concern like water, electric supply, post and telegraph or telephone services, railways or roadways, any system of public conservancy or sanitations, hospitals, defense, establishments, etc. The whole public life and through the economy out of gear. Consumer are subjected to untold hardship if the struck commodity happens to be used in other productions, operations, then other producers also suffer. When industrial dispute result in stoppage of worker, supply position of the struck commodity becomes grim and the prices of that commodity shoot up. The position becomes services, the product is consumer goods of daily use. On employers, the employer also suffer heavy losses not only through stoppage of work, reduction in sales and loss of market due to non or short supply of the product, but also in the form of huge expenditure on closing downs and strikes. They have to undertake publicity and propaganda to put their viewpoint before the public. On workers, the worker are also badly affected in more than one ways. They lost their wages for the strike period. Sometimes they lost their employment. They have to incur debt to meet their day-to-day expenses. Future prospects become a dim, a disturbance in family life, person hardship, mental agony, and tension to develop the persist. And on society, that is public. The public too is not shaped. Industrial unrest creates law and order problem and chasing huge additional expenditure out of public execute. And even the dispute of settle the strike and bitterness continue to linger, endangering happy social and industrial relations. Then national economy, that the industrial dispute also affect the national economy adversely when labor and the equipment in the whole or any part of the industry are rendered idle by strike or lockout. National dividend, that is income suffered by the people. A lot of it may happen in two ways. One is a hand by the impoverishing the workers, indulging in the stoppage of work. It lessens the demand of goods produced by the industries. On the other hand, the struck industry is such that the supply goods services or other industries, it lessens to the supply of them of raw materials and the equipment of the work. The result is loss of production, ultimately reducing national income. Consequently, public expenditure on welfare is public is reduced and development activities cannot be undertaken for want of finance. Thank you.